watching Cron On, streaming now from Cron 4, the Bay Area's local news station.
Right now on Cron On, the big story tonight is, of course, the severe weather that's moving through the Bay Area, bringing widespread power outages, flooding, and road closures. We're taking a live look right now at the conditions all across the Bay Area, the Golden Gate Bridge there, the Richmond-San Rafael Bridge, and SFO, where we know delays are happening at the airport tonight. And, of course, the Bay Bridge, where traffic is slow moving in and out of the city tonight because of all this rainy weather that's moving through. Thank you again for watching Cron On this evening. I'm Dan Thorne. A series of powerful winter storms are hitting across the whole state this evening, and all across the Bay Area today. We've seen down power lines and trees falling on houses, and also some swift water rescues. Take a look at this video from the South Bay. San Jose fire crews successfully saving several people and dogs who were trapped on this small island in the Guadalupe River. We know that's a problem area there in San Jose. Local emergency is still in effect in that city tonight, and low-lying areas near the river are under an evacuation order. Hundreds of thousands of people also without power around the Bay Area this evening. We're going to take a look at those outages and where the restoration efforts stand in just a minute. But first, we're checking in with Gail Ong, who's joining us with the very latest on this storm. Gail.
Yes, Dan, we've had a lot that's happened in the overnight hours. So take a live look here at SFO. We have those clouds there and wet roads. Now take a look at the delays. This is about 6-hour delays you're experiencing at SFO. So definitely want to check your flight if you're heading out. Oakland and San Jose look good at this time. We're still dealing with some winds. So this storm system has been really all about the winds here. So as you can see, San Francisco still reporting 36 mile an hour at this 8 p.m. hour, 36 in Novato, 20 in the South Bay in San Jose. So we are still under a high wind warning and advisory for much of the Bay Area. This activity should diminish in the evening after 10 p.m. when that expires. But still, for the next 2 hours, expect wind speeds 20 to 30 miles an hour, gusts up to 50 to 60 miles an hour. I know there's hundreds, thousands of power outages out there, and you guys have been writing to us. So we just have to get through the rest of the evening. And these are the peak wind gusts that came through overnight. 77 miles an hour in Point Breeze, Mount Umunum in the Santa Cruz Mountains, 81 miles an hour. And then take a look at Livermore, Rose Peak at 77 miles an hour. So some really strong gusts here. Mount St. Helena in Oakland about 60 miles an hour, and Mount Diablo 75 miles an hour. So we have seen storm reports of trees down, power poles down, and of course this power outages, as I mentioned. And take a look at that energy on our satellite and radar, zooming on in to see where exactly the rain is right now. So you're seeing now like the Sacramento area, it's Sebastopol, parts of San Francisco, and towards the central coast, Monterey, and even the South Bay here east of Gilroy. You're seeing some rain at this hour. And here's the rain precipitation rate, about 0.2 of an inch an hour. So that's pretty significant. Normally we get this in a day. So that's what's coming down in San Francisco. A little closer here, 101 by Morgan Hill and between San Jose, you're seeing some rain there. So that's an area that tends to get flooded. I have been seeing roadways get flooded since last night. So definitely some ponding out on the freeways. Precipitation rate in the South Bay, 0.3 here. So some significant rainfall, but you know, it's really the winds. These storm reports, most of them are about the winds here. We're talking about wind gusts you see in the blue and trees down on blocking roadways. So these are most of some local freeways, some rural areas that typically get that. And here are the rain totals over the last 24 hours. So the North Bay and the Santa Cruz Mountains, Fairfax, Boulder Creek, almost 4 inches of rain in the last day or so. And San Francisco, over an inch, Richmond over an inch, and Oakland and San Jose over an inch. So we are getting some rain here, but it's really the winds we have been worried about. But we are still under flood warning here in the North Bay, Santa Rosa, Marin, and Sonoma counties, and a flood watch for the rest of the Bay Area. So we've been dealing with this for the last few weeks. So we're keeping an eye on those rivers, creeks, and streams. And of course, the risk of ponding and shallow mudslides, landslides. So here we also have some snow in the Sierra. There's a winter storm warning that is in until Tuesday morning. So it is not a good idea to travel. We're talking 2 to 4 feet of snow above 4,500 feet, and then 2 to 8 inches on the lower elevations, but even like 5 to 6 feet in the peaks. So whiteout conditions, you know the drill, definitely not advised to travel. So let's take you through the evening here. So this is an hour from now. This is 9 p.m. in our Futurecast model. And you notice these lines here? These are the isobars. And if you notice how close they are, that means the winds are strong. As I take you through the evening, 10 p.m., it starts to get wider. So that's a sign that those winds will start to diminish. And you still see some energy north of San Francisco here, but take a look at Los Angeles. And, you know, this system is leaving us. It is heading south, and it's going to bring some problems. We're talking some life-threatening flash flooding concerns in the Santa Barbara, Los Angeles area. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. But for us in the Bay Area, it looks like we're seeing some leftover lingering scattered showers. As I mentioned, this is the post-frontal showers phase. So after all that energy from the atmosphere river, it's leaving behind traces of rain, and sometimes it's some moderate to heavy downpours at times. So it depends where you are. You see at 6 a.m. Monday, you see this line between like the East Bay shoreline and San Francisco. So you could see some rain during your morning commute, but it is pretty light. And then same thing, you could see this energy start to diminish towards Monday afternoon. And then taking you through the evening, you don't see a lot of green out there, and you see all the green and yellow in Southern California. So that is the situation out here. When I come back, we'll be talking about some high surf warnings out there because, yeah, there's a lot of energy out there and the threat of severe weather still over the next few hours. Dan.
All right, Gail, thanks a lot. Well, as she mentioned, the higher elevations dealing with high winds. This is a video from Mount Tam today. You're seeing the rain coming down sideways. We know Gail Long is in the Weather Center tracking the latest tonight. Gail, what's happening?
Yeah, well, this was an impressive storm, and apparently we haven't had one like this, according to the National Weather Service, since about January 2010. So pretty significant here. I want to show you the satellite loop from the last 24 hours, that counterclockwise circulation just spinning off towards the California coast and bringing us this severe weather to the Bay Area. So the mains right now are the winds, but we do still have some rain out there. So let's zoom on in to see what activity is going on. Where Sarah was in the South Bay, you could still see some pockets of rain there. Gilroy, east of 101 and towards Monterey, Modesto is starting to see some moderate downpours right now. Now, these are post-frontal showers, so this is after this atmospheric river is now moving out of our area. It always tends to leave behind those strong winds and some scattered rain. So Sebastopol to North Bay and some spotty showers in San Francisco. So now, not so much the rain that we're worried about. We are still dealing with flooding, but it's the winds though. But as you can see, just want to show you what's going on in the South Bay, closer here to Morgan Hill 101. That's a pretty wet drive towards Gilroy, and precipitation rate is about 0.2 inches an hour. So usually we get that in a day. So as you can see the big picture, a lot of these storm reports, these blue circles you see on your screen, these are actually reports of strong winds and also trees down, power lines down. So as you can see, this is very much a wind event. Wind speeds right now, 33 miles an hour in San Francisco and 22 in Point Reyes. So stronger along the coast, inland, we're down to the teens right now. Now, we just extended the wind advisory and the high wind warning. It was supposed to expire right now, but now it's extended until Monday morning until 8 a.m. So that is going to be a breezy commute. Still some damaging gusts up to 40 to 60 miles an hour and wind speeds 20 to 30 miles an hour. Rain totals the past 24 hours, about 4 inches in the Santa Cruz Mountain and Boulder Creek, and almost 4 inches in Fairfax. Everywhere else picked up an inch of rain. And when I come back, we'll be timing out the next couple of hours because we still have the threat of some severe isolated thunderstorms. Dan.
All right, Gail, thanks a lot
for news.
All right, we want to get you a check of your forecast right now. We're taking a live look at the Bay Bridge on the eastern span. Looks like the wind has calmed down a lot from what we were seeing out there earlier, but we know it's still a bit of a danger out there tonight. Gail Long joining us with a more in-depth look. Hey, Gail.
Hello, Danny. Yes, the winds will still be an issue, and I am seeing the winds scale back just a bit down to the teens at this time, but expected to pick up in the overnight and for your morning commute tomorrow as you start your week. So a couple weather headlines to tell you about. Now, that precipitation has now transitioned into convective mode. So that means expect isolated thunderstorms, still dealing with those dangerous gusty winds. As far as rain totals over the next few hours or so. We're talking about half an inch to an inch and a half of rain, 5 inches, up to 5 inches in the mountains. So we still have minor flooding concerns and trees down, lots of power outages. So here are the current wind speeds. Pretty breezy at the coast at Point Reyes, 23 miles an hour, 16 in San Francisco, 20 in Napa. But overnight, that should be picking up as the high wind warning and wind advisory have been extended until 8 a.m. Monday morning. So wind speeds from about 15 to 30 miles an hour, gusts up to 40 to 60 miles an hour. So some damaging winds still in the forecast overnight. And here's this, what was causing all the rain. This is the last 24 hours, so what we call a surface low, and that was just coming through over the coastal waters, enhancing those rain totals. So this came from an atmospheric river, and the National Weather Service says that we haven't had a storm like this or a system of this kind since January of 2010. So pretty significant. Here's the activity at this hour. We are seeing some widespread showers. We did see a few isolated thunderstorms throughout the day, but you can expect activity like this to continue until at least Tuesday. But the rain, not a major impact. We'll have some flooding issues, though. But here is the Futurecast model. So notice these lines here. These are the isobars, and as they are closer, that means the winds are stronger. So this is midnight. As you can see, still those lines are close together. 2 a.m. as well, and then this is 5 a.m. and then I want to take you through 9 a.m. So the lines are getting wider, so that means those winds will be starting to diminish after the rush hour commute. So your commute will be breezy, and then look at Monday afternoon. We're just seeing spotty showers out there. And then I want to turn over to Southern California, because that is going to be the next big weather story, and that will be making national headlines as Los Angeles and Santa Barbara, they're dealing with life-threatening flooding concerns. So that is something to keep an eye on starting tomorrow and this week. Your 7-day forecast, we have some rain in the forecast, a chance of rain for Monday, and then Tuesday, a little chance of showers there. And then I'll show you the 7-day here, because we have dry weather on the horizon midweek and next weekend. Back to you.
Gail, thanks a lot. Stay with